Hey guys, okay, so I'm new to this. Please forgive me, forgive my accent. I'm European, so I'm sure you're gonna hear a very, very strong accent, and it might be hard sometimes to understand me. I'll try my best to speak clearly. My name is Jennifer, and on the case of Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger, there are a lot of things that's been bothering me. So, like everybody, I got obsessed with this case and I started researching it heavily in back in January. And I started also following this channel, which at the time the name was Astral Pilot, and now it's Operation Z. And I agree with 99% of what this guy says, the owner of that channel. 99% agree with him that this is something that was much, much bigger than any of us could even conceive in our brains. That is pretty sure, most likely 99.9% again, that Chris was brainwashed. But this video is not about this. This video is about Nichol Kessinger and how to find her and how I found her real company, because she does have a company, and wait until you see the name of that company, because boy, you are in for a treat. You it's unbelievable. You'll see for yourself. I have screenshots, documents, everything. The only reason why I'm about to play this video by Astral Pilot is because in it says, if you want to solve the puzzle, is to concentrate on Nichol, on NK. And I agree with that completely again. But it says that she has no beginning, no end. And that's just not true. I found her a while ago. I found her like in February, and finally, late February, I tried to start saving screenshots because I was trying to reach Pilot to forward him the information that I had found, but I wasn't able to get in touch with him. So I'm very glad at the same time that I did this, because now I have dated proof that you can find her, you could find her, you can still find her. Now, after I release this, if anybody picks up on it and goes further with it, if it gets spread, I cannot guarantee that you'll find her. But to this day, at this time and date, which we are almost the beginning of April right now, we are late March, you can still find her. So Astral was saying that pretty soon you will be able to find stuff on her, because they're gonna start fabricating things about her life, making up her life, making up stuff for us to find her. Maybe they're gonna do that, but I'm telling you, the stuff that's already here that I found, you could have found it already back then. He made this video right here on March 9th, 2019. So the stuff that I screenshot, I think I screenshot it on March 5th. So I had no idea that he was going to make a video saying that you cannot find Nichol, and that, but now that he made the video in question, this video right here, that soon he's saying like a month from then, which is so like a month from March 9th, saying like beginning of April, you're going to start finding information about her. Well, no, because I've had it since February, and I'll show you, there is no way you can fake screenshots, because when you save it in your phone, it's dated in the system. So I can't fake that, you know. So again, this is not to go against anything he's saying. It's just to let you know that he was misled. You know, everybody makes mistakes. Just like he thought that there was no interview with NK and her father, and finally in the end he recognized that there was an audio of that interview and the father was there. Well, if he was mistaken there and he recognizes that he was mistaken, that's just what I'm hoping, that he's gonna recognize that he was mistaken about the NK's identity, NK's company. And since he's a very smart man, because he's really good at research, he's somebody that's very open-minded. That's the only reason why I wanted to reach him versus somebody else, because I totally align with his belief and the mind control stuff, the psychotropic weaponry, you know. So yeah, let me just play you this real quick, and then I'll show you everything I have, all the screenshots and everything. And let me tell you, you might get put off when I speak about brainwashing and all that stuff, but stick around, because even if you don't believe in that, as long as you're looking for NK, as long as you want factual information about Nichol Kessinger, I will show you that right now. So it has nothing, you don't have to believe in the stuff that me and Pilot believe in. But if you want to find her, just watch this video. All right, let's play this real quick.
We've always loved horror. It's just that horror hasn't always loved.
If I was wrong or I thought I could possibly be wrong, there's not even a 1% chance I'm wrong. Now, when you actually do the research into this, buddy, what you need to look for is the fact that Nichol Kessinger has no beginning and no end. She just has an in the middle. A year prior, she Googles Shanann. It's like she's getting her information, she's getting her ammunition ready so that she could see exactly what not to be when she approaches Chris. Now, they target certain people with certain personality characteristics. People that spend a lot of time in their own head, people that aren't very social, not very outgoing. These are the people that spend a lot of time thinking that would be very easily brainwashed. Okay, so she sees Chris Watts the night of the murders, activates the command word, whatever it might have been. I'm sure it's got something to do with that damn Metallica song. Activates the word. Now, he said, my wife counted between 13 and 15 times throughout the entire interview. It felt like somebody had implanted something in his head. It felt like somebody had him by the hand, guiding him to do it. Now, he also said, he described everything that I had said for weeks leading up to this interview. And he described that's what he was feeling the entire time. It's not a shock to me. Now, he didn't know he was going to kill the kids. He was pre-programmed to kill Nichol. He brought the kids to the oil site and then decides to do it last minute. He never once thought about what he was going to do to get rid of the body. Hang on. He never thought that far ahead. Why? How could somebody whose wife is on social media every 30 seconds, getting phone calls for work every 30 seconds, he knows what her schedule is like, and he knows that people are going to be missing her almost instantly, and yet he didn't think out how he was going to get rid of the bodies. He never thought out a well-planned story, nothing. Because he was programmed to kill. He wasn't programmed to hide the fact. He was just programmed to kill. He didn't know what the fuck, he didn't know he was even programmed to kill, so how the hell was he going to make plans to get rid of the bodies? Think about this for a minute. There's no...
Alright, so far, I agree with everything he said. My beliefs align 110% with what he said. The only thing is, again, there is stuff about NK. She's not just somebody that was made up and it just appeared and then just disappeared again. Yeah, she disappeared, sure, but she was just not made up. She did have a childhood. She did go to schools. She is in pictures, in school pictures. She was a normal person, except that she had ties. She was recruited. Basically, to me, NK was a pawn just as much as Chris was. She might think that she's in the know and oh my god, she's running with the big hats and all that stuff, but no, she was used just as much as he was. They were both handpicked. Everybody in this case was handpicked for a reason. Anyways, let's fast forward this video real quick. I think it's around 9 minutes. Let's see here. And then I'll show you everything I have.
Again, I challenge anybody. It's not that the puzzle doesn't fit. There's no fucking puzzle. That's what I've been trying to say since day one. At first I started making videos on Chris Watts because I was so shocked that somebody could just kill their family. So then I started watching videos, and it only took 4 or 5 days before I started seeing, okay, this doesn't fit the pattern. He's a loving father, a loving husband that allows his wife to pretty much control everything. Sure, you see men snap and beat the shit out of their wife occasionally, but for a guy, your typical suburban family, that's what they knew would shock the nation. He was a target. So it's not that the pieces to the puzzle don't fit. There's no fucking puzzle, man. It's just no puzzle. Find Nichol Kessinger. I challenge you. Find Nichol Kessinger. There's nothing. Now, once these videos start to spread, give it a month. And they're going to have to create some kind of a facade around Nichol Kessinger just to debunk my theory. But as of right now, I stand by what I'm saying. How will fake records just appear out of nowhere? Because that's what's going to happen, mark my words. Once these videos spread, eventually you're going to start seeing fake credentials pop up on the internet of where Nichol went to school and where she got her geology shit, and none of that stuff exists now. But watch, in a month, it's just going to pop up out of nowhere. videos start to spread. And these people got the power to do that. They can fucking go in the computer and make it look like she's had a normal childhood in some rich Texas fucking neighborhood. And that's what's gonna happen. Mark my words. But as a
Alright, so again, he made this video on March 9th. I want you to remember this date, there's a reason for it. He's right, you know, them, those in power, the ones that are the actual government, the shadow government, let's call them, have the power to do that. Except they haven't already because it was already there, you know? And I'm gonna show you right now. Alright. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of shit that I wanted to, excuse my French, a bunch of stuff that I wanted to touch on, but I'm not sure if I'll get to do it in all this video because I have a limit of 25 minutes to record this stuff. So there you go. You see, you can tell I've been doing this stuff. I started screenshotting in February 23rd. This is what Pilot had found. That his theory was that NK was this Nichol Kessinger that was working for Anadarko. That was not Anadarko, Sunburst. She was an officer of Sunburst Consulting, and that he had found her like this on the opencorporates.com website. And then this is a picture of NK that he showed to compare with a picture of the Rachel Nichol that he had found, and he was saying it's the same girl. I'm sorry, I'm a woman. I don't know if it makes any difference the fact that I am a female, but I can tell it's not the same person. They're very similar, but it's not the same person. They just have dark eyes and they're both brunettes. Anyways, that's what he gave us. At this time, I already had the information that I wanted to give him, but I just was not able to. It just blew up, and I just wasn't able to get in touch with him. So I was thinking, how the hell am I going to find her, you know? So I started running her name, of course. So, for example, on Fast People search, there is free details that you can see. If you pay, you can see extra. But at the time, I didn't pay because I didn't want to give money for this crap. I wasn't that interested. So I found her like this through that website. So I go on the profile and it tells you her father. So here's her father's information. And then I see this Stephanie Kessinger. And I remember, Nichol, and Kay has a sister called Stephanie. Let me see if I can find her for her, because I know that Stephanie is born in 1990 or 1991, and Nichol was born in 88. So they have to have gone to the same high school, or at least to the same, one of the same schools. They have had to have been in the same, gone through the same thing. So I Googled Stephanie Ray Kessinger High School. What do I find? Stephanie Ray, the first record is not her. The second record that has circled is her. And the second picture is her as well. Stephanie Ray Kessinger is 28 years old. She lives in Aurora, Colorado. She's a 2009 graduate of Eagle Crest High School. I'm like, let me check if I can find, more on this. Of course, I Google Stephanie Kessinger, Eagle Crest High School. Again, I find her. So then I'm like, okay, let me Google Nichol. So I Google Nichol Kessinger, Eagle Crest High School. Bam! She's there. Like a score. Okay, good. So I go on the high school website, and there's a list of all the alumni. So I type in the search bar, in the finding, you can, on the top right of your browser, you can search finding page, and I type Nichol Kessinger. Of course, it finds it. Class of 2006, Nichol Kessinger. So she graduated at Eagle Crest High School in 2006. I just want to show you real quick details of the screenshot. I screenshot that on March 5th, 2009, okay? Same thing for when I started looking for a sister. Details, March 5th, 2009. 4 days prior to the fact that Pilot said that there was no information and that you cannot find her, but you will be able to find her after he makes a video. So there was this stuff before. So then in the search results on Google, I click on the list when I type Nichol Kessinger, Eagle Crest High School, and I find this, oldfriends.co. Class of 2006, Eagle Crest High School, Aurora, Nichol Kessinger. And apparently you can send message, like DMs or whatever you want to call it, to the classmates if you were part of this class. And there is a message to Nichol Kessinger, but you cannot read it because you have to be a member and you have to be a paying member on top of that. I also found this. My high school was Eagle Crest High School. It wasn't the pictures, I believe, the image results. My class was 2006. My name in school was Nichol Kessinger. My name now is Nichol Kessinger. Okay, so then I was thinking, well, I remember finding a document that was saying that she went to some kind of college, and I found it again. So it says this, it was this one. According to another little LinkedIn, Kessinger, blah, 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 graduated in 2013, blah, 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 blah. She also went to study geological and earth sciences and geosciences from the Community College of Aurora. Again, I screenshot that. March 6th. Okay? So I started Googling Community College of Aurora. And I got the main page right here. And then you see that it says show alumni. So of course I click on it, and I go down the list and I find Nichol Kessinger, Greater Denver area, blah 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 blah. So you click more, you get this. Hold on, there you go. Nichol Kessinger, education, that she's from Greater Denver area, MWD field engineer at Halliburton Oil and Energy at the time. Then it says the education she went through. That she went to Colorado State University from 2011 to 2013. Then before that, Colorado School of Mines from 2009 to 2010. Prior to that, Community College of Aurora, 2006 to 2008. And we also know now that she went to Eagle Crest High School from 2001 to 2006. She graduated there at 2006. And then it tells you her experience, Halliburton, blah, 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 Beeline Acoustics, Alpine Controls, Inc., January 2006 to August 2007. Alpine Controls, Inc. is one of the businesses of a father of Dwayne Kessinger, Dwayne Lee Kessinger. Dean Dwayne Darrell, he has so many AKs, I've never seen that. Then it tells you her skills, all the skills she has. All right. So, where was that? Oh, I went back to see if I could find a yearbook. So I went on I forgot the name of the classmates.com to find the yearbook. There is no 2006 yearbook. Unfortunately, you can only have access to the yearbooks from 2002 and 2004. No one has uploaded a yearbook from 2006. So I could not see her yearbook, but I guarantee 100% she's in there. I think there's an opportunity for you to order the yearbook online, and I think it's about $50, but I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll do it. I'm not sure. Let's see, you know. I'm not that desperate, but I'm pretty sure, you know, if you could find the yearbook from Eagle Crest High School in 2006, you would find her in there. Okay, also, another thing that's interesting, her sister, we know also she graduated from Colorado University in 2000, at first they said 2013, but no, she graduated in 2014. And I found her, and she graduated in horticulture. There is something very interesting about Stephanie. Stephanie, now, she works for the Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And when you click, when you find her, when you Google her, you can find this page about her. I'm showing you right now so you can see the page site, the name if you want to look for it. So it tells you all her stuff. You know, that she graduated there, all this stuff, what she did after graduating. Currently, Stephanie has 2 part-time jobs. One job is working in Dr. Courtney Jan's lab at the CSU as a technician. The lab is doing research on sorghum as a potential bioenergy crop. And then the second job is at the National Center for Genetic Resource Preservation. Here she works as a lab technician for the seed analysts. When you go on the website of that stuff, it shows you the other stuff they do. Some of it, that's the official United States government website, by the way. It's legit. She's on there. It tells you also, that's the branch that she's working at. The Plant and Animal Genetics Resource in Fort Collins, Colorado. That's where she works at. They do a lot of research on cloning and genetics there. So I thought it was very interesting, you know. Then I wanted to also show you real quick. Well, before, let me reveal to you the NK's company, actual company. And like I said, it's not Bubbles LLC. She has an LLC, but it's not that. So I was using this website called mylife.com, but the free information you get there doesn't give you much, you know. It doesn't show you much at all. So I finally decided to take out my card and pay the buck for it and see what was showing up. And on Nichol Kessinger's page on mylife.co. And that's how I found her. Here you go. When you click, there you go, Nichol Kessinger Lee on mylife.com. When you scroll, once you pay, you get the information that's in green. Company name, Satya Consulting LLC. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I found her. Oh, let me show you real quick again. Details. Screenshot March 5th, 2009, 1:15 p.m., okay? Way before, 4 days before Astral made this video. So I'm like, okay, let me Google Satya Consulting to see if I can find something. So I Google Satya Consulting, Nichol Kessinger, boom. The first thing that pops up. Satya Consulting LLC, 3631 South Andes Way in Aurora. And I recognize the address because it's one of the addresses that show up for her when you do researches on her name. So I click on it, and this is what you get. Satya Consulting, you know, registered with the Colorado Department of State. Business start date is March 8th, 2018. 4 or 5 months prior to the murder of Shanann. The entity status is in good standing to this day, that when I screenshot this, which was March 5th again at 3:04 p.m. I spent the whole day that day searching. When you click on it more, this is what you get: the business, the entity ID, all this stuff. Agent name, Nichol Kessinger. One interesting thing is if you type on this website, the OpenGov US or the Open Corporate US, if you type her name, this is not going to show up. You have to find it by typing Satya Consulting. That's the only way you can find it, at least at the time when I did this. So then I went from the OpenGov.us, OpenGovUS.com, I went to OpenCorporates.com, and I typed in Satya Consulting LLC. Company number, status, good standing, limited liability company, oh my God, sorry, tongue twist. Jurisdiction, Colorado, US. Again, sorry, I'm from Europe. English is not my mother tongue, my mother language. I speak 3 languages, so sometimes it's a little tough. Excuse me about that. There's only one filing for Satya Consulting, and it's on March 8th when she made the company. So I was trying to find more information on Satya, but nothing shows up. Nothing. You cannot find what it's for, nothing like that. So then I was thinking, Satya, this is a weird name. It kind of sounds like Hindi, you know, like some kind of Buddhist name or something. So I type on Google, Satya meaning. Sit down, because this is so funny. Satya meaning. Satya is the Sanskrit word for truth. It also refers to a virtue in Indian religions, referring to being truthful in one's thought, speech, and action. In yoga, or accessorily in anal sex practices, cough, cough, Satya is one of 5 yamas, the virtuous restraint from falsehood and distortion of reality in one's expressions and actions. Oh my fucking God, are you kidding me? You know, if you are part of the realm of the conspiracies about they, them, the ones in power, you know that they do things in front of your face, right in front of your nose, and they will throw little jabs like this because it's funny. I mean, come on, man. NK is most likely the person that was assigned to Chris as a handler, somebody that didn't do all the brainwashing, but that was the physical handler, the person that would go in, physically see him and physically give commands. Because I do believe Chris Watts was mainly brainwashed through frequencies in his house, probably through the Vivint interface that was in his house, other stuff like that. You don't have to follow me on that. You don't have to agree with me on that. Just keep in mind that this company is real. It's her. That's a fact. But entertain me 1 second. Just humor me for 1 second. I mean, isn't it funny that she chooses the name of her company? She chooses something that is basically means that it's the virtuous restraint from falsehood and the distortion of reality in one's expressions and actions. That's exactly what she's doing. She's distorting reality, Chris's reality. She's through her expressions and her actions. That's what she's doing. I could not believe it. Like, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. If you want to go to entertain me a little bit longer, speaking about the shadow government, I have a little thing that I put together for you today. This is a quote from Roosevelt that says, "Behind the ostensible government sits enthroned an invisible government, owing no allegiance and acknowledging no responsibility to the people." Some of the biggest men in the United States in the field of commerce and manufactures are afraid of somebody. They are afraid of something. They know that there is a power somewhere so organized, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive, that they had better not speak above their breath when they speak in condemnation of it. That's from Woodrow Wilson. Again. Do you remember when Edward Snowden released all the information when it was during the Hillary Clinton and Trump presidency? All the stuff that he released about the fact that the NSA was spying on us, US citizen, and that your rights to privacy, everything related to privacy was a dream, basically. You remember that? They spy on you through Google, Facebook, Skype, Twitter, everything. More than that, they spy on you through Alexa. Don't forget that every time you use voice commanded Wi-Fi based technology, this is stored on the cloud somewhere, and that's the NSA that has it. Everything you say in your house, if Alexa is always or Siri is always listening, don't you think that they can at will spy on you? Be aware that if your spoken words include personal or other sensitive information, that information will be among the data captured and transmitted to a third party through use of voice of recognition. Look at what the CIA chief said. CIA chief will spy on you through your dishwasher. Items of interest will be located, identify items of interest. I'm talking about persons, like, for example, say Chris Watts, will be located, identified, monitored, and remotely controlled through technologies such as radio frequency identification, sensor networks, tiny embedded servers, and energy harvesters, all connected to the next generation internet using abundant, low-cost, and high-power computing. This is a quote from the CIA chief. You can find it online. It has said this. They're not even hiding it. This is how people are saying, so why did they target Chris Watts? How did they find him? They find people, items of interest, as they call them, like this. They monitor non-stop, 24/7 a day. And they find you through keywords. When you say keywords, Look, for example, revealed hundreds of words to avoid using online if you don't want the government spying on you. And they include Port Cloud in Mexico. But, that's how they find you. They have keywords. They have a list of keywords. And whenever you speak it or you type it, they have lists of people that they start monitoring. And when they find somebody that fits something that they want to do, like, for example, Chris Watts or Nichol Kessinger, that's how they start organizing stuff, Don't forget also, when you use your cell phone and you put your fingerprint on there, well, great, if you haven't been fingerprinted before, well, now they have your fingerprints. Have you ever thought about that? Anyways, that's just a small little thing. Yeah, I thought this picture was pretty cool because that's completely the truth, No, it's like George Orwell is probably turning over in his tomb right now. Anyways, just to tell you, there you go, something else I found. The black budget. This is what the secret government doesn't want you to know. That's how they finance all this crap. All operations like Chris Watts and everything that happened, that's how they finance it. That's what Edward Snowden revealed. The black budget is almost 53 billion on secret programs. I mean, come on. And secret programs, I'm saying like mind control research and all that stuff. you know. Look, that's what the budget is for. The CIA has 15 billion. The NSA has 10 billion. You know, Geospatial Intelligence Program, NASA has 5 billion. The Defense Intelligence Program has 4 billion. The Justice Department has 3 billion. How come they need 53 billion? They have 53 billion. That's like, oh my God, you know how much difference that is from what, for example, the Justice Department has? That's 50 billion more. Don't you think, like, what do they use that money for? That money is your money for the taxes, by the way. Anyways, something else that Astral Pilot has touched on, was that Blackstone had stakes in Anadarko and Vivint being the security system that Watts family used. That's true. When you research, you can find it. That's the thing that he didn't show you. He didn't show you exactly. He told you, but he didn't show you, so people kind of didn't take him really seriously. But there you go. When you go into the Vivint website, they speak about Blackstone. They don't even hide it. When you try to find Blackstone, when you go to Blackstone, this is the guy that owns Blackstone. Stephen Schwarzman. This guy, you would not believe. That's the type of people that control the United States that you don't even know about. This guy is not famous. Nobody knows him. And that's how they want to remain, you know. Trump is not the guy that decides what's going on here. It's not. There's like dozens of Schwarzman's guy like this that actually have the power. Look, I found something about Blackstone. Mr. Schwarzman is an active philanthropist with a history of supporting education. In October 2018, he announced a foundational gift of $350 million to establish the MIT Schwarzman College of Computing, an interdisciplinary hub which will reorient MIT to address the opportunities and challenges presented by the rise of artificial intelligence, including critical, ethical, and policy consideration to ensure that the technologies are employed for the common good. He does a lot of stuff like that, and all of them are either related to artificial intelligence, genetics, cloning, all this stuff like that. Sorry, excuse me for the little reminder right there. Yeah, so, it's the rabbit hole goes deep, and you do not have to be a conspiracy theorist to admit that it looks weird. Anyways, I wanted to show you one last thing. By the way, maybe in another video, if people are actually interested in what I'm saying, I might explain more on how to find NK, her new name. I made her whole, here I'm going to show you my draft. It's kind of shitty, but I made her whole ancestral tree, and I made, excuse me, I made the names to be aware of, the names to look out for. Kivet is the name of her mother. Her name is Barbara Jean Kivet, but Kivet is not her maiden name. Her maiden name is Riley, Barbara Jean Riley. She was with Dwayne Lee Kessinger, and they had Stephanie and Nicole. Dwayne and Barbara separated. Barbara remarried a man called Robert Arnold Kivet, who, that guy was also married to a woman called Barbara Fraud. At the time she was Barbara Fraud. Her maiden name is Burley. So Robert Arnold and Barbara Fraud had Robert Jr., Robbie. I think some people have talked about NK's stepbrother, Robbie. And they also had a girl called Kelly Nicole Kivet. The thing that I find interesting is that Stephanie and Kelly Nicole are born the same year, and Nicole Lee and Kay and Robbie were also born the same year. It's crazy. Just like when you think about that Barbara, the double Barbaras, Barbara Jean Kivet and Barbara E. Frog, Also, so Dwayne, when he separated from Barbara, he went on to be with a woman named Donna Lynn Delaney. She also has a sister called Catherine Arndt, because, okay, I need to explain to you this. The reason why I started looking for names is because during the video interrogation of NK, you can see her asking the cop about changing her identity. And the cop answered to her, well, listen, if the new name is tied to your family, people will eventually find you. And she answered, well, no, because I asked everybody to scrub everything online that they had of me. So that's what kind of told me, start looking for names, pay attention to names, because most likely she changed the name around like December 2018, I believe. And the procedure, there's a whole procedure. I can touch on that in another video, but that was my little draft. I have a much better one, but like I said, maybe I'll show you in another video. This video is kind of getting everywhere right now. I just want to finish on this whole thing by telling you about psychotronic and electromagnetic weapons, which is how they do to mind control people, to brainwash people, to alter people's brain chemistry from a distance. This is facts. This is not sci-fi. This is something that the US has been researching since the 50s. Okay? They took that from the Germans. Anyway, so when I found the meaning of Satya, we also, the benevolent use of words and the mind for the welfare of others. I mean, like the other definition I gave you earlier, I thought it was so crazy. So it turned me on to, mind control stuff and whatnot. So here you go, real quick. A targeted individual is a person being harassed electronically. Psychotronic weapons is brain manipulations from a distance. These weapons interact with the nervous system of the targeted individual, affecting the target's conscious and subconscious mind, resulting in suffering. Electronic harassment and other forms of control are designed to leave targets feeling stressed out, disoriented, drowsy, helpless, and paranoid. Targets are left with no one to trust and no one to turn to. This form of harassment uses electronic weapons of various types to remotely torture, control, and physically harm targeted individuals over time. There are a variety of means that are used remotely to harm and control the targeted individuals. Some of these techniques are microwave, ultrasonic, laser, acoustic weapons, such as voice-to-skull, which are used to remotely cause a variety of effects on targeted individuals. Many victims find themselves implanted with microchips which have become too small to the human eyes to see. Anyways, that's just a little thing. Let me see. Here. Psychotronic and electromagnetic weapons, remote control of the human nervous system. Britain's Daily Mail, as another exception, wrote that research in electromagnetic weapons has been secretly carried out in the USA and Russia since the 1950s, and that previous research has shown low-frequency waves or beams can affect brain cells, alter psychological states, and make it impossible to transmit suggestion and commands directly into someone's thought processes. High doses of microwaves can damage the functioning of internal organs, control behavior, or even drive victims to suicide. So if he can do all that, you can imagine that he can also implant the commands into someone's brain to want to kill somebody. That's not far-fetched. Here's something interesting for you, and then I'll leave you on that. Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, request accidentally provides government mind control files. This is on the Gaia website. A recent Freedom of Information Act request by investigative journalism website Mkultra resulted in the release of some bizarre documents pertaining to the government mind control program involving psychotronic weapons. Mkultra originally requested documents related to terrorism threats from the Washington State Fusion Center, a division associated with the Department of Homeland Security. For some reason, when they sent the files to the Mkultra website, they messed up and they sent some extra stuff. And they sent this, what I'm showing you this. The first graphics shows the outline of a woman's body pointing out different areas that could be remotely controlled, including induced with pain or pleasure and stimulated in strange ways. One of the arrows points to the center of the head and reads, forced manipulations of airways, including externally controlled forced speech. They can force you to say things, not only do things, but say things. If you want to pause and look at the graphics, because there's a bunch. Another graphic shows the use of remote brain mapping and mind control. Pay attention to that. By use of helicopters, trucks, disguised as communication vehicles, and radio towers. This is official governments. This is not some like a conspiracy guy that wrote that on the blog. This is documents that were declassified and sent by mistake to someone that had requested a Freedom of Information Act packet of information. It shows what appears to be wave signals penetrating walls of houses and controlling individuals or groups of people, as well as the different resonance frequencies needed to control various areas of the brain. I mean, come on, people. Again, if you want to pause and see this, you can. This is another document that they released. Scientific American pointed out that one of the graphics was included in an article published by Nexus magazine describing NSA signal intelligence capabilities and Project Echelon, the government data collection program long believed to be a conspiracy, until whistleblowers like Edward Snowden proved its existence. Why the WSFC sent Mark these graphics is still a bit of a mystery. The website says it's possible it could have gotten mixed up in documents meant to be sent elsewhere, or they may have belonged to an intelligence officer collecting data that were misplaced. It would come as no surprise if the government or an agency like the NSA that acts covertly and autonomously has been researching or actively running a program with these capabilities. The prospect of psychotronic weapons isn't that far-fetched either, with the government's history of similar programs during the Cold War and the multitude of people who believe they have been victims of such attacks. Then I went to search for the Freedom of Information Act things, and you can see right there, I'm on the official CIA website. And on it, I found this. I'm telling you, people, they tell you, they don't hide nothing. That's the craziest part about it all. This is a declassified document titled, it was an article in a journal that they had classified, and they had it removed from the journal and the newspaper and classified it, and now they just declassified it. And the title of it was, Yes, Psychic Warfare is Part of the Game. And when you click on it, this is what it is. See? Declassified in part, sanitized, copy approved for release, 2012. That's what happened in 2012, the big thing, when people are thinking, oh, it's the end of the Mayan calendar, something big's going to happen, it's going to be the end of the world. Well, really what happened is that a flood of information was released, and people's third eye, basically the pineal gland, just like something, it's just got, awoken, and a bunch of people started being aware of what was going on. It's not... That's what happened. That's why they said when there was a change, it was the end of the world, because it was the end of the world as we knew it. Because think about it. 20 years ago, you would have come up with this type of stuff, this type of talk that I'm having to anyone. They would have locked you up. And now you can't have, still people are still going to call you crazy. And I'm sure some people will say I'm on drugs, or I'm a crazy European. But most people, the majority of people, over 50% of people of the US population believes this. So if you want to pause and read, I zoomed in on it for you. This is a very interesting article that was in the Washington Post in 1981. Anyways, another thing, last thing that I'm going to touch, there's a lot of people dying trying to reveal psychotronic weaponry being used in the US on citizens illegally. Like this person right here. This is a New York Times reporter that was murdered not so long ago. And she was researching psychotronic weapons. You can go, I would highly recommend you go on that site, www.topsecretwriters.com. It's an amazing site for research, and they even have a search engine to search in all the Freedom of Information Acts documents that were released. So, yeah, it talks about how she was murdered when she had discovered a bunch of stuff, and she had discovered plants in the Dominican Republic. Guess who has a lot of stakes in the Dominican Republic? The Clintons. Anyways, psychotronic weapons, then the hidden control. You can pause and read if you want. See, they finish by, is it possible that Mrs. Kershaw, the person that was murdered, stumbled upon some new information that made her dangerous? Considering the speed at which the capabilities of psychotronic weapons have improved, the possibility is extremely high. So that's the search engine on the Top Secret website that you can search. They have every single document that was released. You can just type in what you want and it will pop up. So FOIA, that's what it stands for, Freedom of Information Act. Anyways, all this to say, I started talking on all this stuff because of the meaning of Satya, which is the name of NK's company, the real name of NK's company, which is amazing, right? And it's really crazy. I mean, virtuous restraint from falsehood and distortion of reality in one's expressions and actions. Anyways, if you guys are interested in more of what I have for NK stuff, let me know. And maybe I'll make a follow-up video if this video hasn't been cut short already because I've been talking a while. So, alright guys, bye-bye.